Hello, welcome to the Silverthorne Pulse. I'm Kim Jardam. I'm here today with Town Manager Ryan Highland. We are going to recap for you the work session and Town Council meetings for Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. So Ryan, let's jump into work session first. So we had an update on short-term rental licensing from our Finance Director, Laura Kennedy.
Yeah, just want to keep the council up to speed on where we are with respect to the caps in the different areas in town. We have a couple of different opportunities for short-term rentals, and in what we would call the neighborhood zone 1 area, getting close to that cap, although it's been kind of hovering at that level for quite a while. We have about maybe close to 30 licenses that are left, and just reminding council that at whatever point we do hit that cap, there is a wait list process that is in the town code, and so just kind of reviewed what that process looks like, and also reminded the council that when we do hit that point, they have the opportunity, if they choose, to implement kind of minimum use standards, so that if we've hit the cap and people want to use it, and we've got people that are kind of sitting on a license and not using it, council can make sure that we're getting licenses to folks that actually are utilizing them. So still a bit down the road, not sure if we would hit that cap even this year, but just want to keep council up to speed on where we are. And then in the riverfront and the downtown area, there are, I think, probably 300 or so licenses left, so plenty of opportunity in that zone.
Great, excellent. There was also an update to the IGA, the Intergovernmental Agreement for Court Services. So the town of Keystone has been added. Town of Silverthorne has handled the town of Dillon and town of Silverthorne court cases in the past, and now Keystone will be in the mix as well.
Yeah, later this summer, Dillon will begin covering police service for the town of Keystone. They have an agreement, and so, like you said, we have provided court services for the town of Dillon, and we'll be bringing Keystone into that mix as well. Hosting their court service, and Finance Director just walked through what that IGA could look like, and we'll bring that back for formal approval at a later meeting.
Great, and that was it for work session. So we can jump into the regular meeting. There was a under public hearings, there was a resolution approving a minor subdivision for Lot 3, Smith Ranch Mixed Use Subdivision, and this has to do with the new traffic signal going in.
Just a little bit of work to have some space around that intersection to be able to complete that work. And then the second item we had under public hearings, same thing, needing some easements on the opposite side of the road to do some of that work and sidewalks. So just getting everything ready, and I think the public will see work beginning out there in the next week or so. So excited to have that signal coming online soon.
Great. There was also an ordinance authorizing the purchase of easements from Blue River Valley Ranch Lake Association, and this is related to the section of bike path that will complete the continuous path through town.
Correct, and this is second reading, so we had talked about this a couple of weeks ago, just getting the land that we need to be able to actually complete that trail. And one of our other items coming up, unfortunately the budget's not going to allow us to do that right now, but after many, many years of work, we have at least secured the opportunity where we can go do that when the funds are available now.
Excellent. Under action items, there was an ordinance amending Chapter 1 of the Silverthorne Town Code related to tobacco product retail licensing. And this has to do with the flavor ban that we spoke about last time we were together.
Yeah, all across the county, the municipalities are considering flavor bans. Dillon implemented or adopted their ordinance a couple of weeks ago. We had first reading, and council did approve that unanimously. We had some students and other health advocates there testifying in support of that. And essentially, like you said, it is a ban on all flavored products. Additionally, a prohibition on sales or 2-for-1, that kind of thing. And then a prohibition that any buildings that have a pharmacy could not have nicotine. And then the last piece was putting a cap on the number of nicotine licenses. We currently have 9 retailers, and the council set that cap at 11. So some room for additional if anybody comes to town, but providing a cap there. So
Great.
we'll come back with second reading, and like I said, being considered all around the county. Breckenridge approved really similar regulations on their first reading this week as well.
And this will be implemented January 1st, 2026.
Right, coordinating on that implementation date, so at the first of the year, so plenty of time to communicate with retailers before then.
Perfect. There was another ordinance amending Chapter 4 of the Silverthorne Town Code to define and regulate natural medicine businesses, and this is related to mushrooms, correct?
Right. Yeah, medicinal mushrooms, and so just doing a little bit of code work to identify that as a specific use, and then identify where that would be appropriate. And it's really generally, if you had a healing center, kind of where a medical office building could be in our town core or in our C1 zone. And then if you have cultivation or manufacturing or testing, that's the type of use that you wouldn't normally see in a C1 retail area. That would be C2, which is a little more kind of off the beaten path, if you will.
Right.
We've not had any applications, but just in case we do,
Sure.
now we have kind of identified the path for them.
Sure. Okay. There was an ordinance, a supplemental appropriations ordinance amending the 2025 budget, first reading. This is related to some of the budget cuts that were talked about within the town.
Yeah, we had a lot of conversation at the work session, which we covered last time, just reacting to kind of the economy that we're in and a reduction in sales tax. And so pausing on a number of capital projects, pulling back on some of our expenditures just in our general fund, so areas that we can cut back as staff doing that. And then also, fortunately, still retaining a couple of really big projects. The traffic signal is a significant project, and then a huge project that is not pausing, that is going forward full speed ahead, is the rec center expansion. So we're excited to be doing that, but pausing on a few other things.
And that project, the rec center expansion, will be coming up beginning soon.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I think in May we will be, you'll start to see activity out there.
Great. There was also an executive session regarding a development agreement for 247 Rainbow Drive and 309 Rainbow Drive, which is the old green village at the outlets.
Yeah, just north of Chipotle, where the outlets used to operate that portion of the green village. A number of years ago, that did change hands, and so it is no longer owned by the outlets, and there's a developer who's interested in developing that property. And so before any rezoning takes place, we've been negotiating on a development agreement that would identify kind of the parameters of what could go there. And one of the components that we're looking for is at least a percentage be dedicated to workforce housing. So council's comfortable with where those negotiations are, and so I think that development agreement will come back for formal consideration at a upcoming town council meeting.
Excellent. Well, I think we covered it all.
That's it.
That's it. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us.